This is the PiHack, a custom carrier board we developed in-house to get the most out of the Raspberry Pi Compute Module 5 in our projects. We fitted a 256 GB SSD because we're testing this setup as a LAMP web server for development and testing, and in this video, we'll show you how to build one yourself. Welcome to Black Device. First up, we'll flash Raspberry Pi OS to the Compute Module's eMMC. To do that, we use a small tool called rpiboot, which makes the eMMC module appear to your computer as an external USB storage device. Then we open the new Raspberry Pi Imager 2.0 and follow the steps to flash the OS. You can set up this web server project with a Raspberry Pi 5 too, and this first step is simpler if you're using the single board Pi and a micro SD card to host the OS. Either way, we recommend you use an SSD kit for better performance and reliability. Once the Raspberry Pi OS is installed in the Compute Module eMMC, we connect our PiHack to a monitor, a keyboard, and a mouse. Our board supports power over Ethernet, so we just need a single PO cable for both power and network. We boot the system and get the device local IP address, for example with hostname. So we can continue the process remotely from our computer, as long as it is connected to the same local network. Next, we SSH into the Pi and start by updating and uprating the system. We check that the SSD is detected, then assign the Pi a static IP on our local network, so it stays reachable after reboots. After a reboot and reconnect, we format, configure, and mount the SSD storage to get it ready to host our web server. With storage ready, we download and install the LAMP stack, Apache, MariaDB, PHP, plus any required dependencies, and then we enable the services. We create the folder structure where the website will live, connect Apache to that location, and set the correct file permissions so the server and database can read and write as needed. In the description, you'll find a link to our blog where we explain the entire process step by step and include all the commands you'll need, along with an explanation of what each one does. The full setup won't take long, but make sure to read the instructions carefully to avoid mistakes. We then configure MariaDB and create the database that we will use for WordPress. After that, we download WordPress, install its files. Then we open and edit wp-config.php to connect it to our database. Finally, we enable all the services again with all the required permissions. Open a browser window and navigate to the Pi's static IP. If everything is configured correctly, the WordPress installer will appear. Complete the on-screen steps, and you'll have access to the admin panel to start building and testing your site. What do you think of this DIY project? How would you use a local, robust, and efficient web server like this for your development workflow? Leave your ideas in the comments. Check out our blog post for the step-by-step guide, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.